Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne with Back to Earth Creations, and in this video I want to show y'all how to make your own little fairy wings that you can use in a variety of different designs. And they don't have to just be fairy wings, like the techniques translate into whatever shape or design, or I think you'll be able to do a lot with it. Let's go ahead and get started. So it ended up being a little bit of a kiss cut, but that's all right. That's neither here nor there. You could do this with any sort of stickers, like if you had purchased some from our website, or if you find some on Etsy or make some yourself. However it comes down to it, we'll just have a nice little bit of cicada wing sticker there. I don't mind a little bit of overlap to the edge, but we're going to use a 24 gauge wire. You could use a 26 or even a 28, but those are a little dainty. The 24 is my preferred. You could go thicker as well. That would actually be pretty neat if you did like a 24, a 22, and then like a 20, but the sky's the limit on how creative you can get with this, you guys. So I'm going to show you how to do the little spiral. And so I like to give myself way more wire than what I think I'm going to need, just so that I can weave this in with whatever other projects that I'd like to make with it, because I can always trim the wire later, but I want to give myself lots to work with just when I'm making the little wings like this. And so just making a very loose kind of coil. There we are. We have a whole, well, I say coil, but it's just a little spiral. We have a whole master class showing how to make spirals in different styles, but I do like the nice and open style. So let's see, we have some, because it was really important to me. The whole thing that started this is I wanted wings that could be mirror imaged instead of just exactly the same as each other. And so with our little mirror image wings, and there are a couple of different strategies. I tried the UV dip resin, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't care for it. So I've removed the backing to our sticker, and I'm going to grab just a piece of scrap paper. And you could use whatever shimmer mica pigments you would like. Here I'm using some Born Pretty brand. That is just such a nice shimmery blue. And I'm loading up this fluffy paintbrush pretty generously. And then I just want to cram pack that down. And we're going to do another one with a more close-up view. But just really burnishing that into whatever stickiness is there on our, not a leaf, not a feather, on our wing. And so there's the front side of it still. So there's that. Let's get a closer view. So again, we're going to want to get in there, get the backing separated, lay it on our paper sticky side up, and then load up our brush and just rub that in. Until we have our wing looking like this. So I'm going to be using this UV resin, and I'm going to position this so that the wire follows that top edge of the wing of the line. And I want this really, really making solid contact if we can. And now I'm just going to put a glob there on our wire. And from here, we may be able to use, if I had a little piece of scrap wire, which we do, I'm going to use just a wee bitty bit of scrap wire to drag that UV resin to the edges of our wing. And then just leaving that there, I'm going to move this and turn it on. And so you can see that is getting the UV treatment. And once, I mean, I don't want to wiggle it around too much, but I sit it under here for about a minute. And if there's any tackiness left, I like to take it outside. If you're having difficulty with things shifting around, you could use a little bit of tape or something to hold the wire down, but I don't really like sticking the sticker to tape just because I have a hard time getting it back off. The best UV lamp on the market is the sun. And so I like to finish off my UV stuff just out here in the sunshine, making sure it's getting it from all angles. You can see that is just beautiful. I love the way that the wire floated just a little bit, but that's okay. And so from one side you don't see the leaf veining at all, and then from the other side you can see it pretty nicely. And at this point I'm going to trim down any excess beyond the wing, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So this step may be a little easier on some of the larger wings, but it's still worth trying here on the little ones. And I like to just come through and trim typically just this little edge. Just to get that smoothed down. And just as a before and after comparison, it just removes that extra little bit of material, which again may not be a very big deal for you, but it is an option. I try to not booger it up too much if I can, but we'll see. But yeah, sometimes just wherever the eye might be most drawn to. And now from here we have, there's the back of our wing, and you can see I didn't quite make it to the end there. That's okay. This one came out, I think, just about perfect. And from here, I'm going to try to do this in a way that stays in frame. But I'm just going to put a little bit, well, on these smaller ones, we'll just fill it up. How about that? Completely domed all the way over. Being very careful to not ruby it up. And back under our UV lamp, keeping everything nice and level. And I'm just going to get this tacked up, and then I'm going to go put it out in the sunshine so it's not sticky or tacky at all. Okay, so this is how one of the big wings is coming out, and you can see the UV resin shrank just a little away from the edge, and it's not a huge deal. But I am just going to come through, and I like to just focus on the straightaway part, because if I can get that nice into the edge, the rest seems a little bit more forgivable. You know, it's kind of less noticeable, to me at least. Now I wonder if we may be able to come through with like a file or something and smooth this down, or like maybe even like nail clippers that are curved might give us a nice consistent little curved spot there. But I'm going to leave that there. I just like trimming up that edge, and I think that'll be just fine. But now we can come in and let's see, perhaps I'm going to turn off our UV lamp, and I'm going to take this, I'm actually going to tape this with some washi tape. You could use painter's tape or scotch tape, or quite frankly anything that gets the job done, but I just want it to stay in its place. And now I'm using a T-pin that has a little bit of UV resin on it already. Let me go get a tissue to clean this off. Okay, so we have a clean T-pin, and this is what I'm going to use to kind of drag this down, because I just want to add a little bit to the front, like kind of along that top edge, but I don't want there to be a ton of weight. By adding the additional resin, especially if this is going to be like an earring or something that we want to keep lightweight. And so I'm going to pick up our little index card here, and I just want to drag this down into very fine little details. And so if we're able to just kind of squeegee it across the surface, I wonder what that will do. Now that's going to give us a very lumpy, odd effect. And I want to make sure that I'm not dragging this down. But see how that gave it like a very mottled? I'd rather it be very heavy than all mottled and kind of messy. So I'm going to see if I can, I'm being very experimental at this point. And also, if it's hard to hear me, I do apologize. I'm speaking up as best I can, but also I have a fan going, and that always messes with my audio. But the smell that this UV resin is not that bad, but it does build up. So I do recommend having a fan or something going. So just putting in, now that we've spread it all across the surface of our wing, and we can kind of bend this down and out of the way if we want to be able to get in underneath it. But we're just going to spread that around like so. Oh, and that's looking very nice. And so now I'm going to scooch that out of the way. We're just going to set it down, and quick as anything, just get that set under the UV lamp so it can go ahead and start to set up, because I'm really pleased with that one. You know, I always try to get the details, but there's a little bit of wire under there. A tidy work surface. Mine is a good example of what a non-tidy work surface looks like. It could be worse, but the tidier the work surface, the better a chance you're going to have of not dragging some cat hair or scrap wire through your resin. But I always start by trying to get the nice little details, and if it doesn't work, then I just put it over the whole thing like how we did here. Oh, and that is so pretty. All right, I'm going to stop fiddling with it. I'm going to set it up in here for another minute, then go put it out under the sun just to finish it off. And just like that, we have these different fairy wings. And you can see the difference between the front and the back. That's the back side. And then here we have the front side, which I really love the way that the printed sticker shows through so nicely. Whoop, well, that one's on the floor now, but that's okay. And so you could take these and you could incorporate them into different jewelry designs. You could put them onto little fairy sculptures, or like really anything. Now, another thing that we could do is we could have this wire come down and make a loop, and then it come back out the tip. And this way we could incorporate this into wire wrapping on something else that will give these larger wings a little bit more stability. And now that'll be something we cover in future tutorials. So be sure to sign up for our free newsletter and subscribe to the channel and all the good stuff, so that you stay in the loop. We do new tutorials every Sunday and Tuesday, and we do live streams every Monday, Friday, and Saturday. So there's that pair. And then these are our medium wing size. And I think these wings, this color in particular, I don't know what color it is. This was gifted to me about 6 years ago, and I'm finally getting to the bottom of the jar. But I think it looks like shimmery opalite. And I think that's just beautiful. So there's our mediums. And then let me retrieve our other small. Dog fur is always free. And I just think it makes the back very beautiful. Like, you could almost showcase the back as much as the front if you're into that. And you could do this with any old butterfly or dragonfly or cicada wing like how we have here. You could draw up your own fantasy wings, and I use the app Procreate to draw them up. That's just so pretty. Well, there it goes again. Hey guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me during this video. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas for future tutorials, please leave those down below in the comment area and I'll do my best to get back to you. If you are enjoying our free tutorials and would like to support the creation of more of them, you could consider joining our Happy Crafter Club, or you could sign up for our free newsletter. That one's always nice because that way you don't have to rely on YouTube or any algorithms to show you our stuff. We'll show you our stuff, but we just send an email whenever we have a new live stream or tutorial or shop update or just whatever's going on with us. We'll let you know, and you also get some super sweet coupons and different things, and sometimes pictures of my pets in the newsletter, I'm going to be honest with you. But thank you guys so much for being here. I really enjoy getting to make these videos, and y'all make that possible. So I will see y'all in our next one. There should be stuff probably popping up on the screen on the sides where it'll take you to future video or other videos and stuff. So I will see you there. And until then, happy crafting. Mwah. Bye.